Nobunaga, who was very impressed by his skin because he thought that Yasuke was probably dirty from playing in mud or probably smoke. Even to the point where I actually bought a wooden boken because I was such an otaku. And konbanwa minasan, kyo desu. So a lot of you guys wanted me to talk about Yasuke, the Black Samurai. So we are going to do just that. I've known about Yasuke for a few years now, but I've never really dived into his origin and his story. And many Westerners, particularly Black people who are into Japanese culture, love to emphasize that there was a Black samurai that served in Japan. I guess in some ways it makes a lot of Black people feel even more connected knowing that a piece of them somewhat was involved in Japanese history. But yeah, a lot of Black otakus love that. But to me, it was more of like, oh, that's pretty cool. And I do love samurai culture. I mean, from the beginning, years ago, about I would say 10 years ago, I used to be a huge otaku.
Wait, that's it. I'm going to Nippon. Cookie まで違うとは。ただいま。デート行きましょう。Anime no Utsutsuki.
I used to watch a lot of anime, read a lot of manga, and I was very much into that, I guess, entertainment or glorified side of Japan with ninjas and samurai, and I do love samurai. And I think most people who are geeks or nerds love samurai. Even to the point where I actually bought a wooden boken because I was such an otaku, and I've had this for about, I would say, 12 years now. The crazy thing is, it's not like, young middle school boys who get a souvenir when they go on a school trip. I actually bought this on Amazon. So you can definitely understand how much of a nerd otaku I was back in the day. I still am to a certain degree, but definitely not as much. So apparently Yasuke was from Africa. He was either from Ethiopia, South Africa, or the country of Mozambique, with most sources leading that Mozambique was probably his most factual place of origin. And Portugal had colonized that part of Africa, and he was brought here possibly as a slave with Portuguese Christian missionaries who planned a mission trip to Japan. And through that, he was able to meet the leader of Japan at the time,織田Nobunaga, who was very impressed by his skin because he thought that Yasuke was probably dirty from playing in mud or probably smoke or charcoal. And he actually instructed him to take a bath. But of course, we know that it's not dirty, it's just more melanated skin. I think that goes to show from when you visit cultures that predominantly have more lighter skinned people, seeing dark skinned people can be a bit of a shock. And I don't think it was racist, that he was like, oh, your skin is dirty. I mean, and I've even heard to this day, a lot of Japanese, especially kids who've never seen Black people before, they think their skin is dirty because, it's not white or it's not pale. And again, I don't think it was racist. I just think people just don't know. They've never seen a Black person before. And that happened to me when I went to Japan where, a few people have never met a Black person and they wanted to touch my hair or, touch me because, I'm interesting. I imagine it would be the same way if a Japanese or a white person went to Africa to a tribe in which Black people have never seen people with lighter shade of skin. You're just really different. Man, I am so happy I got ExpressVPN. Huh? It puts me in a virtual private network that protects me from hackers who want to steal my information. Huh? ExpressVPN also prevents governments, websites, and large corporations from tracking me online to sell my data to ad companies. So with ExpressVPN, I'm 100% protected. Also with ExpressVPN, it gives me unrestricted access to all parts of the internet. And actually with ExpressVPN, I was able to watch Sheena Ringo's video Hunno because it was banned in America. So with ExpressVPN, I was able to change my online location to Japan, so I was able to watch the video. So with ExpressVPN, you're able to watch content from other countries. So if you want to be as protected as I am, you can go to expressvpn.com/BrooklynTokyo to see how you can get ExpressVPN for 3 months free. Link in the description. So thank you ExpressVPN for protecting my online data. I give up. But Oda liked him apparently and was very intrigued by him and would have conversations with him, which eventually led to him actually serving under him as a samurai. Apparently they said Yasuke did know Japanese because there was no way for him to communicate with Oda Nobunaga because he didn't speak Portuguese, I believe. So a lot of sources say that he did speak Japanese or the language at the time. But apparently he wasn't the only African to be there. There was also some other Africans that came with him that landed in Japan. So there probably was a little small population of Africans living and working in Japan. Japanese were also very impressed by him because he was a very tall man, about 6'2", and he was very dark-skinned, which compared to the Japanese, of course, is very different. And of course, again, Oda Nobunaga thinking that his skin was covered in black ink or some dirt or charcoal of some sort. But after some time, Oda Nobunaga was forced to commit seppuku and ended up killing himself by Akachi Mitsuhide. Shortly after that, Yasuke joined forces with Oda's heir, Nobutada, to try to fight back Akichi's advancements. But it ended up failing. And apparently Achiki's words was that because he was a black man, he was seen more of an animal, not really a Japanese person, and he was ordered not to be killed, but to be sent to a Christian church in the capital of Kyoto. After that, it's not really known what happened to Yasuke. There's not much documents that kind of describe his life after that incident, so how he died and if he started a family is a bit unknown. However, one thing that I find interesting, I've always said that I believe out of all the Asians, I believe Japanese tend to be the most diverse looking. And I've actually met a few Japanese people that seem to have a lot more black features. So I'm thinking if there were Africans in Japan at one time, I'm wondering if the Africans made children with the local Japanese people and maybe some of that bloodline passed on to the descendants. That's why maybe some Japanese or a good amount of Japanese don't look traditionally Japanese. But I think things like this are pretty cool, that a person from a whole different country can be part, even for some time, of another country's culture. Being a black samurai, which is definitely rarer than rare. And I'd imagine if Oda Nobunaga didn't like Yasuke, his story wouldn't have played out the way it did, but I'm glad he did. And he has a little bit of staple in Japanese history. And yeah, it's nice to know that there was some African or black person that contributed to Japanese history one way or another. But yeah, I find the story interesting. And again, I do love samurai culture. I think it's pretty cool. I even wanted to take kendo classes at one point. Kyo-san's an otaku. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about Yasuke. Do you find him interesting? Do you think the history is interesting? Let me know in the comment section below. So if you guys enjoyed the video, please smash the like button, smash the subscribe button. Also hit that bell as well to get notified whenever we post a video. Honto, arigatou gozaimasu. Minna, 気をつけて。じゃあね。